You should choose your enemies carefully, because you are going to become just like them. And so, subtly, too slowly to be perceived, the United States had become, if not just, then certainly much, like its erstwhile enemies. Not that there had been great choice in the matter. Faced with totalitarian propaganda, the United States had learned to twist truth in self-defense. Faced with planned economies able to challenge the West only through inflicting deprivations on the workers, the United States had been forced to greater and greater economic control emanating from Washington. Faced with the possibility of armed invasion, though we know now that it was never a realistic concern, the central federal government was forced into taking on more and more responsibility under the aegis of national self-defense. From the national highway system, to move the military to the ports and defense materials to and from the factories, to the school lunch program, to provide educable cannon fodder for the wars and campaigns, to rates and levels of taxation we can today only marvel at, to pay for waging an often hidden conflict by land, sea, air, in space, and, through propaganda and strings-attached foreign aid, in the hearts of the uncommitted. Each and every spurt of growth in federal power, each Republican-detested centralization of authority, the Republicans had themselves fought for, at a minimum acquiesced in the interests of winning the 70-Year War. Yet less than a generation after the successful closure of that interminable conflict, the United States found itself as thoroughly divided into two hostile camps as had been the world previously. Briefly, things seemed to be on the road to improvement. National, political, and philosophical differences seemed cast aside one terrible morning in 2001, amidst the shrieks of thousands of bombed, battered, burning victims of a vicious terrorist attack that threw all awry. With the screams of the dying in their ears, the vision of the flames seared into their eyes, no one, not Republican, not Democrat, not the man or woman on the streets, resisted for a moment the most severe curtailing of civil liberties in the history of the Republic. Thus, when, 7 years later, the United States emerged victorious from what was known in some circles as the Arab War, in some as the Muslim War, and most as the War Against Terror, not only were all the previous differences found to be still largely intact, the mechanisms of control had been much improved and enhanced. Worse, as it had been in 1860, the balance was near perfect, and perfectly precarious. The slightest shift left or right could tumble the entire shaky edifice into ruin, even into civil war. Fortunately, at that time, the right person, the right woman, appeared at hand. Chapter 1. From the transcript at trial, Commonwealth of Virginia versus Alvin Scheer. Direct examination by Mr. Stennings. Question. Sir, please state your name for the judge. Answer. Scheer, Your Honor, sir. Alvin G. Scheer. Question. And where do you live, Mr. Scheer? Answer. Well, the past several months at least, I've been living, if you could call it that, at the Fairfax County Jail. Before that, I lived in Texas, a little town called White Deer, not too far from Amarillo. Question. Mr. Scheer, please tell the judge your story. Answer. Yes, sir. Your Honor, I understand from Mr. Stennings I need to tell y'all everything. I don't mind, but where to begin? If it tweren't the worst of times, surely tweren't the best neither. Heard something like that once on an old movie on TV. Best and worst. Might maybe have come out of a book. Don't rightly know. I ain't no educated man. Always been just a simple working man. Simple, that's me. Not sophisticated, you know. Not like them folks over in Washington.